or is it just gentlemen? I see Sandro there. Hello, and how are you doing? So, yeah, guys, I'm here with Usama Dakdok to do the single most painful series on the internet. I believe we're on episode 43. So if I don't make it to episode 44, just understand that it was my choice not to go on living or something. I donated my body to science fiction. I decided to volunteer for a trip to Mars on an experimental rocket by Elon Musk, or and also, I mean, I don't drink, to be honest, but Usama and this sorry, the Quran is driving me to drink. Because Usama, what do you take responsibility for this?
Listen, if you drink more of this, I know you drink a lot of what do you call this? Camel stuff. You drink the yellow stuff.
I don't have the yellow stuff today. I'm all out.
Oh man, see that's
The
why
regular
I
clear
told
stuff.
you more of the yellow stuff. It give you more energy. You move on, keep on. So what? 40 broadcasts. Give me a break. I did 4,000 already in my life. 4,000, more than 4,000, and I drink this stuff here. It
And
looked
look
like
what
coffee.
happened to your hair. So let me take this as a lesson, right? If I
No,
stop
no, no,
now,
no, no,
I
no.
will do myself a medical favor.
You have the good observation, wrong conclusion. The hair loss have nothing to do with what I'm drinking. This is have to do with talking to Muslims. When I get upset, I pull my hair. Look, I don't no more hair. So we're done with the hair. So now I still get my camel urine in a coffee mug, so nobody figure out what I'm doing, man.
And it's sad, you know what? Everyone, there was a terrible event this week. As you all know, it's actually made the rounds in Poland. It broke on Polish news. I was driving on a 2-hour drive down the highway, and well, backcountry roads. Actually, I decided to take the scenic route, and the news came of what happened in Australia. And I mean, really, our condolences and our thoughts go to the victims and their families. I mean, this is horrific. Here in Poland, it has been all over the news. Polish people, even though they're not affected by such events, they are deeply affected. They don't want these things to come to this country, and yeah, it is horrific. And I see on social media, Muslims are aware that sentiment is shifting, sentiment is changing against them, and you see them saying, "Oh, look, a Muslim man saved these Christians."
Oh, yes, 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 indeed. You know what amazing, Lloyd? When you hear this propaganda, I said that Muslim man, according to Islam, will burn in hell because he stopped the killing of more Jews. The problem with Muslims, even who give an apology, I'm sorry, I will not accept your apology unless it's given right. So for Muslims say, sorry about this crazy guy. No, 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 no. You need to say, sorry about our crazy Allah, the
Yep.
most terrorist God we know of according to the word of Allah. Sorry
Yeah.
about our terrorist Muhammad. Sorry about the terrorist Islam we practice. Give me the right apology. Apologize about Islam, not about what the man did in the name of Allah or Muhammad or Islam. I am sorry for Muslims who get killed because they are becoming victims of Islam.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for the people of the West to be killed by the hand of the Muslims because they're victim number 2 of Islam. The problem is in Islam.
And if
Yes,
you
brother.
pay attention, I think you'll start to find that this is escalating. These attacks are becoming more frequent,
Sure.
and I think it's going to escalate. And people are going to push back. I believe that is beginning, and I don't think it's too late. Yes, it is late, but I don't think it's too late. And yeah, of course, Muslims are going on about how Muslims, Kaigul Ahmed, although there are reports that he's actually a Maronite Christian from Lebanon, and he has crosses in his store, according to some reports at least, unconfirmed as yet. But of course, they don't want to talk about the fact that these were Muslims that were shooting Jews and others on the beach. They will, how do you identify that someone is specifically Jewish? And yeah, and also there were even reports that, oh, look at this, the one of the shooters, the one that survived, I believe, they were saying that he was, oh, look at this guy, he's ex-Israeli military. No, the guy's ex-Pakistan army. So anyway, this is horrific, but
It's sad. It's sad.
is, but we pray that this does not happen again. And I think people are finally pushing back. I was watching the Australian people talk to their officials, the government, and you can see there is an unhappiness and people are ready to snap. And I think the government is well aware of this. This is not going to continue. There will be results that come from this that are going to be unpredictable, I think. But yeah, but look, do me a favor, go on social media, do at least one thing. Go on social media and post, terror has a religion. It's called Islam. Do that. Just say, terrorism has a religion. It is called Islam. Because more Islamophobia will save you. Less Islamophobia will get you shot.
Yeah. By the way, tonight I will be doing a seminar here in Michigan. It's by the title Islamophobia, Fact or Fiction. Maybe someday you and I, when you finish this volume, at least volume 1, we can do some of my seminars as a broadcast. We have done some of that in the past, but Islamophobia, Fact or Fiction, and one of my good phrases that all terrorists are Muslims. Not all Muslims are terrorists, but all terrorists are Muslim. I mean, this is beyond even your imagination. What's more important is Allah is a terrorist. Muhammad is a terrorist. Muslim believers are terrorists, according to the word of Allah of the Quran. That's good enough for me. That's good enough for me.
So guys, candlelight vigils, give peace a chance, imagine. No, this is not good enough anymore. This is not good enough anymore. This needs to stop. So Islam needs to go.
The goal, Brother Lloyd, their goal is very simple. In celebration of Christmas, in celebration of Hanukkah, and then if we allow them to do that, which we have already, so many cancellation all over the world. They are not celebrating Christmas.
It's canceling its New Year's and Christmas celebrations because of Muslim terror.
Yeah, but the third one is end worship in synagogues, end worship in churches. So what we're doing, open more mosques. People will come to the mosque, and we're going to celebrate Ramadan, Iftar, and we're going to celebrate Eid al-Adha, the Adha's sacrifice. I mean, literally, that is the goal. Will we give in to them, or will we fight it? I think the Australian people are super stupid for not even banning hijab, burqa. One of their senators, she's trying hard for a long time, and they call her Islamophobe. And guess what? She went to the meeting of the Senate meeting dressed like a hijab, and they refused her and threw her out for 2 months. She could not be a senator for 2 months. Why? Because she's trying to tell them, even though the Senate does not have a dressing code, she can go naked if she wants. She can go wear like a monk, like a nun, or she can wear whatever she wants. But obviously, the Australian people are the leaders. Are not kids. They're stupid. For years are given into the Muslim. Guess what? You're going to have Islam. Or get rid of the Muslims, and you can have your sanity of your country back. Oh, it's up to you. Do whatever you want.
Yeah. So everyone, Islam is not a religion of peace. It is a religion of violence. And Muslims are ramping up their propaganda because they're obviously facing more pushback. But this situation has to come to a head. And it needs to be stopped. So, and they will not stop until you stop them. And if the government is going to do anything, it's because of sentiment. Not always because of voting, but because of sentiment.
And by the way, Lloyd, if I'm sorry, brother, I keep interrupting you, but just I'll come on. You listen to the politician in Australia, here in America, even our Secretary of State, Mark Rubio, last week, they all talk about radical Islam. We need to stop talking about radical Islam. Let's talk about Islam. Let's talk about Allah, Muhammad, and Muslim believers. The longer we talk about radical Islam, for sure the Muslim will take over the West. If there is any time left for them to take over the West, it is when the leaders of the West use the word radical Islam. Yeah, radical my foot. There is no radical Islam.
All these words are just
Islam.
Islamism, radical Islam.
Yeah, Islamist,
political Islam. All these words, Muslims don't have those in their dictionary.
Look, it's been 1,460 years. I lived in the Muslim world all my life. Never heard the word Islamist until literally, listen carefully, some Muslim Brotherhood man invented that word. When the radical invented the word to separate Muslim from Islam, that's a big red flag, as big as China. What is Islamist? You mean Allah is not a Muslim anymore? Muhammad is not a Muslim anymore? Muslim people are not Muslim
Because
anymore?
what an
What is that?
Islamist is. It's a way to supposedly whitewash
Yeah.
Muslims who didn't commit the crime. You know what? Sorry, I said it wrong. My thoughts and prayers go out to all of the Muslims who have to deal with people who are angry that people got murdered on a beach. So my thoughts and prayers go out to all these Muslims who are emotionally distressed by Islamophobia because Muslims
Yeah.
murdered people.
Please, brother, please. Yeah, Islamophobia is one word. Islamist is another word to literally change the narrative, change the story. It is about Allah. It's about Muhammad. It's about the Quran. It's about the Hadith. It's about the history of 1406 years.
Yeah.
We're not talking about 146 years. 1,460 years history. How can you change that?
When you do a textual analysis of Mein Kampf, it's about 7%, 8% of Mein Kampf is about Jew hatred. When you do the same analysis of the Quran, it's 11 to 12%. So it's actually significantly more than the Quran.
Sure.
And yet,
once again, we pray for the people. We pray for the people of the earth who will be suffering as second victims of Islam after the Muslims who are already been suffering, not only earthly, but for eternity in hell with Muhammad and Allah, Satan. All right, Bros Lloyd, I got some of this stuff out my chest. Thank you for letting me get this opportunity. Now, when we talk
makes
about
me angry too. This makes me very angry. And Islam is evil. Some religions are evil, and Islam is an evil.
Yeah, this is righteous anger. It's a biblical anger. You didn't hear me say F this or F that. I mean, some people do that to get some of the anger out of them. But I say, here is the truth. We have a problem with Islam. And it makes me twice as angry when I hear the people of the West talking about Islamist, radical Islam. Where you come up with stupid idea? Show me the word radical in the Quran. Allah calls them believers. Muhammad calls them believers. They call themselves believers. And we're so stupid to call them radicals. Where you come up with that? Help me out. Teach me something.
This is going to get worse. I mean, look at the rape cases in the UK. This is only accelerating. Sure. And now they just stopped some guy with gun parts hidden in his car's petrol tank, under his bonnet, and so on. These people are getting ready. And look, I think we'll prevail, but there will be a price to be paid.
Sure,
and the only way now is to take a hard stand, like what's happening in the US now against the Somalis. People need to understand these are some of the most corrupt countries on earth. And those people come there with those corrupt ideas, and they bring it with them. The culture comes with them.
The more corrupt they are, talking about the Somali in America, the more Islamic they are. They believe in their heart that the riches of America supposed to be theirs. They believe that the people of the West took it away from Africa. And they believe, according to Islam, they have the right to bring justice, take it back from America. So you may think they're bribing, they're stealing, robbing America of 10 billion or 20 billion. No, in their heart, that is the right to get it back. Allah stated that the money of the infidel is ghanima. It is a spoil for it. It's like you fought somebody, you kill him, you take his homeland and money. That's exactly what Allah teaches in the Quran, what Allah teaches in Islam. So Muslims are willing to do that. And it's time for the people of the West to understand, when they steal you, they're not stealing you, they're taking their right. It is their right to take everything we got, including our life.
And this, of course, is also something that's typical of generally of Africans. And I say this as an African because I know the blacks in my country, the tribal blacks especially. But yeah, anyway, there is no sin in that falsehood which benefits a Muslim or removes a harm from him. This is Islam's greatest scholar after Muhammad al-Ghazali, and he wrote copiously and much more so than did the four mujtahids mutlaq. But there is no sin in the lie that benefits a Muslim. So understand your Sharia. Understand that if it benefits them,
it's actually recommended by Allah. It's actually commanded by Muhammad.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, like, this is just your belief, right? This FW, this little Mr. Jihadi here. I mean, there is no sin in that lie which benefits a Muslim or removes a harm from him, right? And every man should save his life, his property, and his honor by taking recourse to lies, falsehood,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And if
Mhm.
harm is caused more than benefit, so if telling the truth causes more harm than benefit, right, then it may be avoided. So Muslims may avoid speaking the truth. So this is just the way it is. To compromise between, okay, well, actually, false speaking is lawful in Islam, right? In
Yeah.
fact, sometimes lying becomes compulsory. Lying is better than speaking the truth in some places. And this is what it says right here. Now, obviously, this guy, show us where. You see, this is called retardation. Okay, this is from drinking too much camel pee,
Oh
right?
yeah.
You're unable to read what's on the screen. But this is what is in the Sharia. All right.
You know what? It's amazing. I was quoting some time ago. I was talking about the cutting of the hand of the thief. I was reading Quran chapter 5 and verse 38, and the people was talking to, where in the Quran this says? I'm just quoting your verse, you nutcase. Quran chapter 5 verse 38. Which part of Quran 5:38 you don't understand? Oh, you're taking that verse out of context. Yep, you misunderstand it. Yes, indeed, it must be. God helps. What is this? We're gonna go
No,
to
we're not
Google now.
taking out of context. Let's have a look at that. So, for instance, Muslims all want. If you've watched the news, you will know that those Somalis all want the Sharia. So here's the Sharia. This is one of the oldest Sharia manuals. This is the primary Sharia manual of the Hanafi school of fiqh, which is the largest of the four schools. And they speak of thefts which occasion amputation and how to cut off the limb of a thief. So this is very much part of Islamic law. And for instance, if a thief is sick, right? If he's not well, his limb is not cut off until he's healthy, so that the amputation doesn't cause risk to his life. But
Man,
the
look
law
how
awards, so if
ignorant.
someone steals 10 dirhams, I mean that's about $3, right? So this is Sunni law right here, and of course this twit here obviously doesn't understand his own Sharia, and of course he is going to lie, right? He's going to lie. That is guaranteed. So, but anyway, and he has to lie. We just saw that he must. But the law awards amputation of his hand. That's for $3 worth of crime, right? So God
Yeah.
having said in the Quran, or Allah rather, if a man or woman steal, cut off their hands. So this is what the Sharia teaches. And Muslims
Yeah.
will lie to you about this whole day, every day.
Yep.
Very
And
simple.
I read in Muhammad's word, the cutting of the hand for stealing an egg. I don't know how much an egg was worse in Muhammad days, or a rope. I don't know how much. I know there is a question:
I
why a
mean,
man or a woman steal an egg? So they can collect 12 of them, take them to Walmart and sell them for $2.95, $2.99, or
no
because
idea.
maybe he or she are hungry. Why you
See,
have hungry people in the Muslim world?
yeah. Understand Muslims will lie to you. They're required by their law, Allah's law, to lie to you. You can see he says it right here. You have the worst. Your God commanded to cut off women's hands. Now, I've timed him out for 24 hours because we don't need his annoyance here because he's an idiot. He's not contributing anything. All he's going to do is lie and deny. But when do Christians cut off hands? When have Jews done it? We know this hasn't happened for at least, what, 2,000 years or more, right?
And
They're going to have to
killing,
go thousands of years back,
yeah,
right?
plus Lloyd, they love to go back to the Old Testament when God gave command for the killing of a specific group of people for their sins after God waited patiently for 430 years for them to repent and do what is right. And by the way, the same judgment God put on the children of Israel when they sin. That shows you the dangerous of sin. The sin and the punishment of sin is death. I mean, all over the Bible, from the first sin when Adam and Eve ate from the tree, all the way, it doesn't matter what sin is. These people were sacrificing their own children for the Pollock God. So God said, these people must be annihilated, removed from the face of the earth. And when the Jewish people did not do it fully, guess what? The judgment of God was on them too, because he disobeyed God. Anyway,
Yep.
we're not going to get into that. We have a very important subject to teach, unless you want to cover something in that page here. What do we have here?
Just so that was so. Just so you know, for the audience, despite the gaslighting, and they will gaslight you, they will lie to you. They are liars. This is
Yeah.
clear. I think you've just seen the example. and they are required to. They earn reward from Allah for doing so, for defending Islam, right? They're not. They don't see themselves as lying. They are defending Islam, and Allah rewards them. And it states here, amputation. You've seen it. It is very, very clear. It's amputation. So they're going to lie to you about it. And Christians don't cut off hands. This is not part of our belief. We don't have Christian Sharia law, and we have secular laws. And at no point have we been doing cutting off hands.
You know what? But when he says that, Lord, they will take the word of Jesus in the New Testament and twist it. When Jesus told the woman who was caught in the sin of adultery, no one condemn you, neither will I. And then they say, oh, Jesus allowed women to live in adultery relationship. I said, no, he's very clear. Read the rest of the verse. Go and sin no more. Which part of go and sin no more you don't understand? Anyway.
Let's talk about people are intellectually challenged, I think.
They're mentally ill with the sickness that's called Islam. Anyway, so Moses, we're talking about Moses. Why we're talking about Moses? To help some Muslims to understand that their Quran is a comedy book. To help Muslims to understand that their Muhammad is not a prophet. Because the only evidence for Muhammad to be the prophet is the miracle of the Quran. And when we study the Quran about any subject, if it's Moses, if it was Abraham, if it was David, if it was whatever name you pick up, it is a revelation of, is a miracle of, if the miracle of Islam is a bunch of errors, I'm sorry, you need to rethink your religion. You need to find a different belief, because that religion, not only it's a savage cult which teach you to kill, to destroy, to steal, the ultimate goals of Allah, Satan, but it will not lead you to eternity in heaven. So here we go. We're going to do one more podcast to expose what Muhammad wrote in his Quran, what Allah revealed in his Quran about more errors in the life of Moses. Go ahead, brother.
Right. I'm still curious. Muhammad had 60 scribes, and yet they still had to write stuff on old toilet paper, used tissue paper, on old pieces of cloth, bark. Like, they were rich. They were robbing people. They had money. Why would they need to?
Well, brother, Muhammad never asked anybody to write any Quran. If you dig deep into it, as we read in the collection of the Quran, that's what they taught me when I was in Egypt, okay? The Muslim schools, the Muslim teacher taught me that there was a war of apostasy, where many of the warriors, the great Muslim heroes who memorized, notice they said what? Memorized portions of the Quran were dropped dead in that war, and it went for a long time. Omar begged Abu Bakr to put the Quran in a book form. Abu Bakr said, how can we do, listen carefully, Brother Lloyd, how can we do something the Apostle of Allah never asked us to do? Then he saw the result of that long war, and thousands of people were dying. Then he was convinced. So they both went to Zayd ibn Sabit. And Zayd ibn Sabit repeats the same sentence. How can we do something the Apostle of Allah never asked us to do? And for years, I was asking myself, Brother Lloyd, why Muhammad does not want to have the Quran in a book form? It's very simple. Because when you're a liar, you don't want people to walk around you, 60 or 600 of them, write your lies. And the proofs that Muhammad is a liar is that when a man was reciting the Quran inside the mosque, Omar heard him. He said, whoa, time out. You're not reciting right. That's not the word of Allah. And the man got upset. Who are you, Omar, to correct me? I recite the same passage before the Apostle of Allah. And he did not correct me. They both went to Muhammad. And guess what? Muhammad said, both of them are right. And then Muhammad added, actually, the two angels asked Muhammad to keep rereading the verses of the Quran in 7 different forms. So what do we have here? A liar, a professional liar, a smooth liar who got caught because his Quran does not match, and he fixed it by saying, oh, there's 7 of them. Muhammad never wanted anybody to put the Quran in a book form. And the evidence, when we read the story of Moses, when we read the story of Abraham, when we read the story of Noah, as it is repeated all over the pages of the Quran, it's always different. Yesterday, I was doing a study about Abraham. Well, guess what? In one place, Sarah laughed before she heard the news that she will have a baby. In the other place, she slapped her face and she screamed. In one place, they went to Abraham, the angels, to tell them about they're going to the people of Lot. In another place, he went to Abram after they've been already with the people of Lot. And the tense changed from present, from future to past in the same story. And you can go on and on with every time Muhammad repeats the story, he contradicts himself. So why do you want a man who knows 100% he's lying, he's making up stuff, in these 23 years writing less than a verse a day, 3/4 of a verse a day, if you want to break it right? Why do you want somebody to, like that, to write all these lies down? That makes him real stupid if he will write it down.
You know, these people, you know, this evidence doesn't matter to these people. Right? I think you know that evidence does not matter. All they have is that they believe they're right regardless of the facts.
Sure.
And you've seen them come on, they just want to distract and deflect. They're not operating in good faith. They're not acting in good faith. There's no reason to treat them as people operating in good faith. These are people you sweep aside.
Exactly.
And there's no point. You need to understand your principles are more important. Your survival as a culture is more important. The truth here. You stand on facts. They're standing on a false narrative. Okay. But they'll keep coming back. So if there are mods in the chat, if this guy comes back, and I suspect he will, he's made 3 attempts already, then, you know, just please get rid of him. Hold on a second. You know, Janice, while you're here, you know, Janice, I should add you as a moderator. There you go. Okay, right. Let's dive in. We ended here, right? This is about, I mean, this was, so he slapped Pharaoh by his wings. So Jibril slapped Pharaoh with his wing. Okay, yeah, that's what angels do. Right?
To stop a soul of repenting and to seek the forgiveness and the mercy of Allah, who said it in his Quran literally 114 times, in the name of Allah, the merciful, the merciful, twice in chapter 1, none in chapter 9, and in each chapter. How can Allah be merciful when his angel Jibril will do everything he can to stop a sinful man like Pharaoh to repent and believe in Allah?
Because Allah was salty. Allah was salty that Pharaoh wasn't listening to him or something.
And somehow we see in that idea here, or that interpretation here, that Jibril is more powerful than Allah. Jibril know what he's going to say. Jibril heard what he's going to say, what he said, and Allah did not. Allah missed that. Do you know that Allah never heard that? And Jibril was able to stop Pharaoh from believing in Allah, but Allah himself did not hear it. I mean, you and I know it right now, but somehow Allah missed it. I mean, what is the logic here, Lloyd? That Jibril heard it, I know it, you know it, all the Muslims know it, but Allah himself never heard it. Because
Allah was taking a nap that time, because Allah was taking a nap.
What was that, a noon time?
What was that about Allah sits on his bed? Something.
Yeah,
so he was taking a nap on that thing. So basically, so we have an issue now. The angels should rejoice when someone wants to confess, and someone wants to repent, and someone wants to worship Allah and all of that nonsense. But no, can't have that. Right? You're a bad boy. So anyway, so yeah, they didn't want this man to confess. They didn't want this man to come to Allah, whatever. Okay, fine. So today we will deliver you with your body, that you may become a sign to those who come after you. And surely most people are unaware of our signs. And yeah, we also don't care. We don't want to know. So Ibn Abbas said that some of the people, the children of Israel, doubted the death of Pharaoh to the point that they said, surely he will not die. So
where did Ibn Abbas come with this idea? Is Pharaoh to the children of Israel a god, will not die? They know that their early fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, died. Why can't Pharaoh die? Is that what we read in the Bible anywhere? I mean, is Ibn Abbas know the Jewish people and their thought more than Moses and the Jewish people and you and I today? Yeah. great fabricator, Lloyd. These are not,
Yep.
Ibn Abbas is not a scholar. Ibn Abbas is a small dumber. Anyway, go ahead. Man.
So let me just see. Okay, so Ibn Abbas said that some of the people, children of Israel, doubted the death of Pharaoh to the point that they said, surely he will not die. Where he got that information, nobody knows. It is a secret. Therefore,
Sure.
Allah commanded the sea to lift Pharaoh to the top of the waters. But others said he was lifted to the shore. Then others said that a bunch of goldfish grew legs, carried him with their little fins all the way up the beach, and dropped him on a chair next to Joe Biden, who was there at the time.
Who was taking a nap on the beach? I got it. I remember that day. Yeah.
So
But wait
his
a minute.
shield was on him so that
Hey,
they
hey, hey,
might
hey.
know him. Therefore, they knew him from his clothes.
Brother, that was a different ocean. Joe Biden was here in the Atlantic. This one is a Red Sea. Are you sure it's the same water?
Joe Biden is old enough that he was probably an eyewitness.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Joe Biden invented those lounge chairs at the ocean. So he might have helped pull the guy out, for all you know. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And they knew for sure that he did drown. That is the proof to the children of Israel that Allah had the power to destroy Pharaoh. And so that's it. This is great fan fiction. I'm not sure if it's history, but fine. So, questions for Ibn Abbas and Ibn Kathir. What is the source of this knowledge? How did they know that his death was doubted? Where did the goldfish that carried him to the shore come from? Was it mermaids that pushed him to the goldfish? I don't know. So, yeah, this is a way. Whatever. Exodus 14 tells us that when Moses stretched his hand over the sea, the water returned to its strength and began flowing again. So the Lord overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea, and the water covered the chariots, the horsemen, and all the hosts of the Pharaoh. And there wasn't so much as one left, not Pharaoh, no one. And when the Israelites saw the Egyptians dead, they believed in the Lord and his servant Moses.
So when the Bible said they believed in God, and they literally believed in Moses, and they know for sure that this is a great victory. Somehow Ibn Abbas turned it to be backwards. They did not believe. They actually believed the opposite, that he will never die. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is nonsense. Anyway.
So we can conclude that none of the Egyptians survived. They all died. And yeah, where do these scholars get these statements? Well, the Muslim that was on earlier, he's not going to tell you. He doesn't have those facts. All he wants to do is attack. He's not thinking. He's not asking questions. That's just how it is. So understand, if you're dealing with a zombie, you can't sit down and have a civilized conversation with it. You do what you do to zombies. It's as simple as that. Mm-hmm. So, right, I believe the problem is in Quran 10:90. The author tells me, and he's the guy right here, which simply states that Pharaoh repented and Allah saved his flesh. So there's no proof of the slap from the angel's wing or the mud in his mouth or, okay. And he became proud with his troops in the land without the truth, and they thought that they will not return to us. So we seized him and his troops, so we cast them into the sea. See how was the end of the unjust. That is like so vague. Ibn Kathir's interpretation was that they transgressed. They presumed to corrupt the land, and they believed there would be no resurrection and no return to Allah. So the Lord poured on them the torment. This is such bad poetry. So he drowned them in the sea in the morning, and he did not leave one of them alive, and that was the end of the unjust. The obvious interpretation was that no one was saved, except for the little golden fishes and Pharaoh's body brought to the shore and how he got there. But so can we stop already?
No, we can't. We have to go some more, please. Give me another hour. One more hour and I'll let you go.
There's no sense. I mean, it's like, let's skip forward because, like, come on, man.
No, you can't skip. It's very important for some Muslim who have logic or common sense. As we continue, he or she will say, thank you, Brother Lloyd. Thank you so much.
Just assertion. There's no evidence. There's no chain of custody of the data. Where does this come from? So the story. So Moses and the children of Israel asking to see God's face. So the story of the 40 days meeting between Moses and God is well known to Jews and Christians from Exodus. And as a result of the length of this meeting, the children of Israel made a god because they did not think that Moses was coming back. They didn't know what happened to Moses. The story is rewritten in Quran 7, 142, and Muhammad breaks it into two sessions of 30 days and 10 days. I'm surprised he got the maths right.
Hey, at least, yeah, 30 plus 10 is 40. He sometimes make up weird numbers, but this was good here.
So as usual, Muslim scholars inserted their input to try and give reasons for why it is written in such a way in the Quran. Here's the verse and its interpretation by Ibn Abbas. And we appointed for Moses 30 nights, and we completed with 10, so that his whole time with his Lord amounted to 40 nights. And Moses said to his brother Aaron, I'm surprised they didn't say his brother, let's think of a name here, Al Capone.
No, he got the name right, Aaron.
For once.
You know, yeah, Brother Lloyd, last week I was doing a little bit deep study. So I was reading about Mary's, the mother of our Lord Jesus' birth in the Quran. And I was reading the scholar Al-Tabari interpretation to the story. And shocking to my bones, even though I've been studying about Islam for years, but I never read that portion before, that when her mama birthed Mary, she found that she's a girl. And she said, of course, Allah knows girls are not like boys. So she took her, that Mary's mama took Mary to the temple, and she gave it to Aaron, the brother of Moses, because he was the priest in the temple. I'll bring the Arabic out and we'll read it if you want. Which means literally the scholars of Islam, not only Allah, but the scholars of Islam are confused. They think of Mary, the sister of Moses and Aaron, or at least in that story, she was born in the time where Aaron was serving as a priest in the temple. And that's how Mary ended in the temple.
In Jerusalem, right?
Yes. Well, first of all, the temple was not built. So I don't know how can they take it to the temple. Second of all, because there was not, the tent was not even made, the tent, not the temple, the temple, the building was built by Solomon. And we're talking about 1,500 years different between that Mary and the other Mary. But somehow scholars did not see it. They didn't catch it. That's how stupid the scholars of Islam. Keep going, brother. I'm sorry. I apologize. Since you talk about Aaron here.
And Moses said to his brother Aaron, be my viceroy among my people and reform. So you see, Allah endorsed Reform UK. And in fact, you're going to find that Nigel Farage is mentioned later in this verse. But before we get there, let's go on. And do not follow the way of the Vandals. So, yeah.
Here's Ibn Kathir, yeah.
So Ibn Kathir said this verse, stated that Ibn Abbas and others said that Moses spent 30 days with his Lord. He was fasting and did not taste food the entire month. Because he desired to make his mouth smell good, he took the bark from a tree to chew on it. He didn't use his miswak stick or whatever. However, Allah commanded him to hold on for 10 more nights. So it became 40 nights. And the mouth of one who is fasting in Allah's sight is better than the smell of the best musk. Moses chose his brother Aaron to be in charge during his absence. So in other words, a stinky mouth is just fine.
Ooh, beautiful smell.
No.
Like Campbell's soup. Go ahead.
Well, of course, the Quran glosses over, this revelation glosses over all the detail that you find in the Bible. On the other hand, extra fabrication, which is the opposite of the true account of the Bible, has been added to the story. An example of this is the children of Israel asked Moses to see God's face. So Moses seeks to see God's face. First, let's look at Moses seeking to see God's face in the Quran, 7:143. And when Moses came at our set time, and his Lord spoke with him, he said, my Lord, show me, look to you. Why do they write it like that? How about like, can I see your face? It's like they try to talk like Shakespeare, but they're really bad at it.
Brother, if you read it in other English translation, maybe they'll smooth it for you. Can you go look it up, some other translation, if you don't mind? I have no idea who else translated that way. Can you do me a favor? Just seriously, let's go look at that. I know you complain about my translation, but that's exactly what Allah said in the Arabic language. I can open the Arabic right now and I'll show it you. Let's see who else translated that way.
My Lord, show me thyself, that I may gaze. Well, show me, brackets, that I may gaze upon thee. My Lord, show me that I may look at you. Oh, my Lord, show to me that I may look upon thee. At least those few.
Okay. But if you look at the Arabic, no, look, go to the Arabic. قال man,
Sorry, let me
what
go
is
back up. Yeah.
good one. ولما جاء موسى لميقاتنا وكلمه ربه قال ربي أرني أنظر إليك. ربي, my Lord, أرني, show me, أنظر, look, إليك, to you. Copy that and put it in Google Translation. It will be perfect, like I said it.
Google Translate is
not the
meant
whole
to be.
verse. No. If you take the whole verse, they're smart. The computer know what you're looking at. Just say.
Wait till you hear me.
Okay, brother. If you take the whole verse, it will give you one of these translations.
DeepL doesn't do.
Google.
Bugger.
Okay, what I want you to do is, after you put it in Google Translation, I want you to take out other portion of the verse. Only I needed to put the portion which I want to read. Now it's too small. Make it big. Make it big. Make it big. Make it big. Okay. Now let's start from the beginning and take these words out. No. Go to the Arabic. Go to the Arabic and highlight all the way until you cannot read Arabic, of course.
No.
Okay. Go in the Arabic on the top. Leave the bottom. Leave the go to the Arabic itself.
Okay.
Start from the bottom. No. You're gonna cut. Start from the bottom and go all the way. Keep going. Next one. Keep going. Keep all the way to the end and delete. All the way to the end. Delete the portion. Now we're gonna do something else. Go from the beginning at the top. No, right, left, right, opposite.
From here.
Highlight. Yeah, highlight. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. And one more. That's it. That's good. Go back a hair. Back a hair. One more time a hair back. That's it. Delete that. No, see, they got the propaganda translation online.
Google Translate cleans this up. I've noticed that Google Translate cleans this up now. It makes it look nice.
Because they know you're talking about the verse of the Quran. I've done this so many times. Almost every time we could clean up the propaganda.
No. They fixed a lot of that stuff. They fixed up a ton of that stuff.
And the fun thing, these things.
Okay, no.
Yes.
So yeah, so this has been cleaned up. It's no longer like it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyway, so you said, "You will not see me, but look to the mountain. So if it dwells in its place, so you will see me." So if the mountain doesn't like move around, get up and walk, go take a smoke break, go have a picnic, if the mountain stays where it is, okay, and we all know mountains can be very fickle. You come there one day, the mountain's gone, you wonder where it is, and it went to visit its granny the weekend. It happens, right? So the mountain, we hope it's going to stay there. So if the mountain stays in its place, you will see me.
Then Moses can see Allah. Yeah.
Right. So when he's Lord Tajala, is this like T'Challa? Is this T'Challa?
Non-Arabic word appeared.
Is this the Black Panther?
T'Challa. Click on it. Yeah, click on 75 if you don't mind.
Appeared in glory, non-Arabic word of Syriac origin.
Yeah. Tajalla. MashaAllah.
T'Challa. I'm sure it's the Black Panther. So he made it. So when the Lord Tajalla to the mountain, he made it dust. He pulverized the mountain. Really.
It became like nothing. Mm-hmm.
And Moses fell in a swoon. So when he was revived, he said, "Praise be to you. I repented to you, and I am the first of the."
All right. Let's do something very important here. Do you know that where Moses went to the top of the mountain,
and became the first Muslim. Yeah, right there.
No, that mount outside Sinai in the Arabia desert up there in where like Medine is, where Moses used to shepherd the sheep for his, that
Yeah.
mountain still there. That mountain is still there. So when did the mountain was back together from dust to real mountain? When this happened? I mean, if the
When they put
mountain,
the moon back together because they launched Operation Super Glue,
oh, super glue.
and they put the moon back together because they had to unsplit the moon. So they figured, you know what, let's fix the mountain
I,
because like
I know about the moon. I believe the moon will glue back. The crack is still there. You can see the crack. But how the dust of the mountain went back? You cannot glue it, man. Maybe mix it with cement or something, but you cannot glue dust. You know? You're not following me. A crack in the moon, you can glue it back. When something is broke, you can glue it back. Two half, you broke, you glue it back. But when something turned to dust, how can you glue it back?
it,
Hello?
it's like cement. It's powder, and you just put it together and you stir with water.
That's what Allah did?
Yeah, that's
Show
what
me
he
the
had.
verse. Listen, show me the verse in the Quran that that's what happened. I'll challenge you.
Um, it's the one where Allah says He can do all things that strengtheneth Him.
You know what? I think you made it up. You're a fabricator.
It's
But go
like
ahead.
you remember. It's like because the mountain came to Muhammad, and then
Listen,
Muhammad said, "Look,
brother, you cannot tell these lies to me. I know Islam better than most Muslims, okay? In the Quran, Alexander the Great built that mountain, the barrier between the bad people and the good people, and it's made of blocks of iron and copper. And Allah said in the Quran that it will not be destroyed until the day of resurrection. The last time I looked at my calendar this morning when I wake up, and it was December 16, 2025, the day of the
no,
resurrection.
because Usama, you understood it wrong. It was made from iron and kaka." Okay, now
Kaka,
the iron just rusted
copper.
after a few years, and the kaka doesn't last in the desert sun. I mean, it just becomes dust as well.
Allah, brother, I don't know why you just keep defending Islam without even having logic in what you're saying. That mountain's supposed to be here today. We looked at the Google Earth for a whole 2 days. I didn't sleep. I searched every mountain, every burial in planet Earth. Not one of them was made out of iron and copper. Okay, so that mountain does not exist. Now, that mountain here where Moses was standing on turned to dust. I don't see any dust in the Sinai desert or in the Arabia Peninsula where Moses used to meet was gone. Okay, so what happened to the dust? Don't tell me
Well, you see,
cement.
here's the thing. Okay, so it's simple. This
Yeah.
was a green paradise, and then when Allah took the mountain and made it in dust, all the dust fell all over the land as sand, and that's why you have a desert now.
Okay, so what happened to the mountain of Alexander the Great? The
Um,
barrier, the iron and iron and copper.
yeah, iron rust, and the rest is kaka.
Okay, can you read the next sentence, please? Ibn Kathir, go ahead.
Ibn Kathir stated that Allah spoke to him from behind the veil. Allah talked to him and caused him to hear the
How
conversation.
big is that veil?
This is actually, you know what, if this is in the Arabic, this is when they speak of behind the veil, this is like the whole Gnostic veil.
That's the women. No, no, no. The women in Muhammad days. Allah told the men, do not talk to Muhammad's wife except behind the veil because Muhammad was so jealous. He does not want anybody to look at his favorite wife, Aisha, or the other women. Okay? You know what I'm saying? You don't know what I'm saying. Are you following me? So the veil is like a curtain where the Muslim men can go and talk to Muhammad's wives. One in the other, in this side, and the women in the other side. So you don't touch them. You don't look at their eyes. Because Muhammad knows what happened if one of these men look at one of these women and the wind lift up her clothes. It's going to end having a
That's
not.
very wise because you shouldn't look women in the eyes because if you do look them in the eyes, next thing you're buying them jewelry, and that's very painful. So
Oh my word!
there's some
Oh
wisdom
my.
there. There's some wisdom there. You
Look,
know,
I'm talking about Muhammad experiences. from looking at his own daughter-in-law, you know,
I mean,
and then he,
I think it's very
yeah,
important that young men get their ear pierced and they buy themselves a little earring, because you learn two very important lessons, okay,
yeah.
which you'll need later in life once you get married. You learn
Number
to
one,
buy jewelry and endure pain. This is very important.
what a great advisor, man! You're full of wisdom. You're full of it. Okay, go ahead. Read about Ibn
Okay,
Kathir.
so Allah then caused him to be drawn near to him. And this is a very noble position, because Allah gave him this very high position. He asked Allah to remove the veil. And he said to the Great One, who no sight can be aware of, Lord, show me, look to you. And he said, you will not see me. And Allah proved that Moses could not see him, because even the mountain, which is much stronger and bigger than men, will not stand still when the merciful shows his glory. That's where Allah said, but look to the mountain. So if it dwells in its place, so you will see me.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah. You know, I've become stronger Muslim believer after reading what Ibn Kathir said. It kind of gave me like strength in my heart about Allah's words and Moses. Yeah. So
you know what? You are actually a believer in Allah, because you were looking and you could not see the mountain. So this is why you were looking for it and you couldn't find. So that means that you saw Allah while you were searching in
MashaAllah.
Google Maps. So because you looked, you couldn't see the mountain, and so
Yeah.
so there you go. There's the story. True story. Ibn Kathir
Yeah.
stated that in the earlier books, obviously he meant the two testaments of the Bible. No one can see Allah unless he dies. And Ibn Kathir said that Mujahid said that the cat in the hat said that when Moses saw what happened to the mountain, he fell down fainting before Allah, for the mountain had changed to dust. Is this the same mountain he was standing on?
Yeah.
So maybe he fell a very long distance, and luckily it was dust, so he could fall into soft dust.
You lost balance. No. That was a mountain on the right side. Moses was standing on the left side, and the mountain was on the right side. Okay.
And then maybe like a whale came swimming along through the dust.
I don't know about the well. Now you confuse me, because I saw that was different story of Moses later, the green prophet and the well. Is that what you're talking about?
I'm trying to figure out the story here. So I'll just keep
Well, they
looking.
ate half of it, and it came back to life and went back to the sea. MashaAllah. We're gonna read about it later.
So when Moses was revived, where did they get this from? Ibn Kathir said that this was a proof that he was fasting.
Sure, because when you don't eat for 40 days, hello, what do you expect? You're so weak, you fall and you faint, and then a little bit later, you wake up and you find yourself hungry.
Where does he get proof that he fainted? Where does he get proof of any of this to get to the point that, yeah, that's proof he was fasting because he fainted? Yeah, but all the other details, like how do you get to all the other details?
Brother, Ibn Kathir is a scholar. You're not. Okay? So don't ask. Don't ask, don't tell. You think Clinton come up with this from empty air? Don't ask, don't tell. Let it go. Move on that org.
Right. So praise be to you. I repented to you. He meant that he no longer asked Allah to see him. As for Moses saying, and I am the first of the believers, he meant that no one can see Allah and live. Ibn Kathir said that Muhammad stated in the hadith that no one should prefer me over Moses. Okay, this is from Muhammad's humility that he said this?
Sure, very humble.
And it has been abrogated, for he did not know then that he was the best of the prophets, because there is no doubt that the prayer of Allah and the peace of Allah are upon him. He is the best of the creatures. As he himself said, I am the master of the children of Adam on the day of resurrection, and with no pride.
With no pride. I'm the best in a humble spirit.
I remember when I was like in the whole Buddhist thing, we had to learn to be humble, and I used to ask the guy who was in charge, like, am I the most humble of the students here yet?
He said, it would say yes.
So I just got to keep working, and eventually I was the #1 humble student. I was very proud.
And I remember, listen, look, I remember when I was born, and the nurse, she was about to cut the cord, between me and my mama, and her hand was shaking because she was a young girl. I told her, give me the scissors. Give me the scissors. I cut it myself. And I took mom home in the end of the day because mom was tired, and I drove her home.
How did you reach the wheels of the car?
Yes, I remember that. It's a true story. I did it. I know.
Right? No, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's more true than what I'm reading here. So, what about the biblical account from Exodus 33:18? In Muhammad's usual way, he copies from the Bible, but of course he distorts it. No surprise. So there is missing information and fabrication. So the Bible stated that Moses asked God to allow him to see God's glory in Exodus 33:19, and God said he will make all his goodness pass before him. He will proclaim the name of the Lord before him. He will be gracious to whom he will be gracious, and he will show mercy to whom he will show mercy. So God did not tell Moses that he will lead people astray or cause them not to understand his signs because they're not going to believe in them anyway. But God will simply show mercy and grace to those whom he chooses. As the love of God is given to all people, unless you're a Calvinist, in which case, probably not you, you know.
Mhm.
So is the case with his mercy, and in his pre-knowledge, he knows who will believe and who will reject, but he will never lead anyone astray. Unless you're a Calvinist, in which case God will lead you astray and then punish you for going astray, even though you have no ability to resist God's will, and will be punished for doing evil because you're evil, but God made you do it and you can't resist him, and it doesn't make sense. As for the fabrication of Muhammad, that the mountain turned to dust, there is no such thing mentioned in the Bible, except that mountain dust is now called the desert of the Sinai. That dust covered everything, and that's how you got the sign. That's how the Mount Sinai still exists today in Arabia. As to what
Yeah.
is written in Quran 7:144, Moses, I've chosen you above all people with my messages and my words. And so Moses was the best in Moses's day until Muhammad came along. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Moses. So of course now Moses and Muhammad, right? Muhammad outranks Moses. Muhammad, of course, outranks Jesus.
Listen. The hadith is very clear. When Adam was walking in the garden and he saw it is written in the sky in light, there is no God except Allah and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Adam asked Allah, I know there is no God except you, but who is that fellow, Muhammad? He said, are you kidding me? It is because of Muhammad I created you. Allah did not say, because of Moses I created you, because of Isa I created you. It's because of Muhammad. The reason of the creation is Muhammad. And you try to tell me Muhammad is not the most important human walk on the face of the earth? Come on, man. Truth. This is the truth. You can handle it. It's up to you. But besides that, child molester, sex offender, prophet pretender, woman, other adulterer, thief, and thug, and test Muhammad, there's nobody else important than him. Keep going, man.
Yeah. So the honor that he was given is proven by Muhammad's ascendance or ascent to the seven heavens. And he was above all the messages and all the prophets. So we'll do that on the section Muhammad and show that the story of Muhammad ascending to the heavens is also a big lie, because he went to the mosque in Jerusalem when Jerusalem wasn't conquered yet and there was no mosque. And so how did he go to whatever? As for the saying, so take what I've given you and be of the thankful, Ibn Kathir said he meant to be thankful for what Allah would give him of the worlds and that he will not ask for more than that. This is just like a bunch of assertions and you will just believe this, and it's just so contrived.
Your problem, Lloyd, is you think a lot. You need to be a good Muslim. Don't use that is which in the box between your two ears. Forget about that.
I just realized this is where they get, but wait, there's Mo. That's There's always Mo. And we wrote for him in the Alwa. What the heck is the Alwa? Board. It's a non-Arabic word of Aramaic origin.
And you know, by the way, that means boards of wood. Alwah is boards of wood. And by the way, alwah is plural, which means in the Arabic language 3 or more. I'm sorry, when you read the description as we're coming up to it, I hope, and I wrote it here, if not somewhere else, you can't help but to laugh, because Allah does not know what is the 2 tablets.
Yeah. Hey, Halal Health took time off from planning to murder Jews and Christians and drive over people at a Christmas market and not raping young girls in the UK to leave a comment. Wow. Wow. Thank you very much, Harry, for a drink afterwards. Thank you. Thank you very much. So this is thank you very much, Harry. But yeah, he took time off from him and his friends raping young girls in the UK and plotting to drive over people at a Christmas market. He says he is the most important, Allah Akbar, but your stupidity is beyond dumb. You have no idea what you're reading or how to interpret what you're reading. What do we say to this, Usama?
Yeah. To this what? You're reading something inside of my book. What are you reading?
Yeah.
Please give me a second chance. Please. I was distracted with my phone, man. It's sin.
Yeah, he needs to maybe go back to making apologetics for Muslims murdering people on beaches and go back to planning the next Islamic terror attack.
Listen. It's a sacrifice Muslim believers are willing to take for Allah. They will not enjoy their sexual privileges, and they're willing to sacrifice this world for the hereafter, where they have better sex with the forever virgin for a long time. You see, on earth, they can only rape 1 or 2 a day. Okay, 3 a day. In paradise, 100 times a night.
So they just practicing all those attacks on young girls are just practice for the afterlife, right? So that,
mashallah, maybe that's the reason, but only Allah knows.
Yeah. Right, let's go on. So we wrote for him in the Allah from everything, a sermon and an exposition of everything. In the hadith,
you read the word of Allah from everything. I mean, you're not talking about 10 sentences or 10 laws. We're talking about the whole entire Torah, the whole entire 5 books: Exodus, Leviticus, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, and Numbers. These books are written on the Allah. Go ahead.
So Ibn Kathir stated that Allah wrote by his own hand and gave Moses the Torah, which is
you say I made it up, man. You're dead wrong, Lloyd. I was right. You're wrong. The Torah itself, and Moses was carrying these words on his shoulder. Imagine carrying this piece of wood, they're like 10 feet wide. You're gonna see the measurement coming up. You're laugh, man. You're gonna have a good time. Keep reading, man.
Our friend is, our poor sad friend. He's feeling the need to comment. He says that no good people wouldn't make fun of the Quran like this. I mean, look, we all know Muslims are people of the religion of peace, because if we were doing this in Arabia, we'd be dead now because Muslims would murder us. Same in Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, and a bunch of places. Whereas, of course, Muslims can go into churches and they can stab the priest and they can break, statues, destroy the windows, burn the churches down. They can pull down nativity scenes, and and then they can claim benefits and but that's okay. But making fun of the nonsense.
We're not making fun. We're just reading the book. It's funny. Wait a minute. I'm not making fun of what you're reading. And what I wrote there, it is exactly what Ibn Kathir said. It's exactly what Allah said. What do you mean? I'm not making fun. Allah is funny. Ibn Kathir is funny.
Hysterically funny.
Muhammad is funnier. Anyway, keep on, man.
I mean, look, I'm just going to ban the guys. He's wasting my time here. But, think about it. At no point will these people acknowledge or engage with the fact of lying being obligatory, of Islamic terrorism, and so on and so on. So, they won't, but of course they'll take offense, and we're supposed to all be offended. You know what? I am tired of caring, and I think everyone is tired of caring, right? Everyone should, those people in those countries afflicted with this problem, get a Quran, burn it. I don't know.
Read it. Read it, brother. Read it. It's a great insult.
Just I don't know, rip it into pieces and just throw the pieces. I don't know, whatever. I mean, but seriously, it's like at some point you've got to ridicule this culture. You've got to ridicule. This is one of the worst ideas to ever exist.
Yeah, but Lloyd, Lloyd, burning the Quran is an old habit in Islam. Started with his great successor, the
Uthman,
great
right?
Uthman ibn Affan. He burned the original 7 Qurans. So burning the Quran is not a big deal. It's nothing really. But reading it will wake up the people of Europe. It will wake up the people of Australia. It will wake up the people. It will wake so many millions of Muslims who never bothered to read it. They just believe that Islam is the perfect word of
Yeah, but
Allah.
if you just read the Sharia, you pick up the Reliance of the Traveler and read that. That explains it all.
Oh,
It's so clear.
then you truly ended Islam. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but seriously, guys, you need to stop being kind and
Nice.
respectful to the point that you're giving up your own culture and being suicidal.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry, but I'm from Africa, and I mean, I've got a
But
little
I
less.
am from Paris. I was born
Right?
in Paris. No, I'm from Africa too, man.
Yeah, and I've
You
got a
know,
little
last
less
time,
patience for this kind of stuff. I just
Lloyd,
don't.
the last time I looked at the map and I found Egypt is in Africa. It's true. Look at the
Yeah,
map.
the Egyptians came through a Stargate, and they're not from Earth, so that's different.
Oh, well, I didn't know. I forgot about that. Maybe you have a
So,
point. All right.
right.
In the Hadith.
So Ibn Kathir said that Allah wrote the Torah with his own hand. Do you know that the Bible, the first 5 books of the Bible, was written by Allah himself?
MashaAllah. And Ibn Kathir knows. I mean, he's a great scholar.
And he
Yeah.
gave Moses the Torah. Did not just the 10 Commandments. No. He wrote the whole world in his hand. He's got the whole.
And you know what's
I'm
amazing?
sidetrack there for a second. Which includes
And it's
all the
amazing.
teachings.
Even though the Torah is the word of Allah, written by Allah's own hand, given to Moses, and Allah said in the Quran, no one can change the word of Allah. Amazingly, we are greater than Allah. We're much stronger than Allah. Allah is too tiny, small, not bigger, not akbar, but asghar, means smaller, because we can change the Torah. We did change the Torah, and that's how we know for sure that Allah is not good. Allah is not strong. Even though he wrote it by his own hand, but some of our ancestors destroyed the Torah, man. We proved that Allah is not.
Sorry, you're right. I mean, Allah is confusing. But look, Genesis is right. Respect goes 2 ways, and Muslims have taken advantage. They don't respect you. You know this. We all know this. Let's not pretend otherwise. Let's call a spade here. And then, of course, Allah couldn't even write in other languages than Arabic. So, guys, Allah didn't only write the Torah, he wrote it in Arabic.
MashaAllah.
The Bible was first written in Arabic. Remember, this is 3,500 years before the language of Arabic was even invented and had dots and dashes and stuff. But that's a small, minor detail.
No. The Jewish people can memorize it and they can recite it right in the Arabic language. You don't need to have it written with the dots and the vowels and all this. You don't need that when you memorize it.
You said they memorized it.
No, memorized
it. Memorized. Okay. No, I'm sure they did something very alien and strange.
I think you have selective hearing. You choose to hear what you want to hear.
So it was memorized in Arabic.
Memorized it. You can say it from memories. MashaAllah. Can you read what Ibn Kathir said, man? You keep lying about Ibn Kathir. You keep lying about me. I mean, you're looking at me and you're lying. What?
I'm trying to make sense of the story. So notice the word Allah, according to Arabic grammar, is plural and means 3 or more tablets. I'm going to have to take a lot more than just 3 after this, with a stiff shot of whiskey at this point.
Unless these boards were so huge. These boards was as big as Asia. Okay, go ahead.
Unlike English grammar, in which the plural meaning is 2 or more. In the true account found in Exodus 31, the 10 commandments were written on 2 tablets. Notice that the tablets in the Quran version include not only the 10 commandments, but also the whole Torah and a bunch of other things. So the word alwa also means wooden boards or planks, not stone as described in the Bible.
That's a problem, man. I wish I can have a Muslim to respond to that. I really, you know what? For all these years, I wrote that book, I don't know, 15 years ago. But for all these years, I'm expecting some Muslim to call me and say, let me explain to you your mistake here, Mr. Dakdok. You were wrong. The truth is this. And I know lots of Muslims bought my book. I mean, when a guy ordered my book here, and his name is Muhammad or Ahmed or Ali, who live somewhere in the world, I know they have read it. I mean, or why they're buying it? Have any Muslim have the knowledge to help me out, explain to me these errors?
No, but I can explain. You see, the thing is, the great sacrifice of Allah was that he didn't take his meds. Allah didn't take his tablets like he should have. What he did was he gave them to Moses instead, right? Because Allah didn't have any paper, right? So he used the tablets, and Moses used the tablets. So he was carrying around his Bible, on those big. This was page 1, guys. This is just page 1 of Moses's Bible. Those on the
Genesis 1, 2, chapter 1 and half of chapter 2. It have to be small. Listen. It have to be written in small, tiny letters, and he have all these boards. Actually, I don't know why I did not write the side of the boards, man. That's what I hate about my editors. They cleaned up my
basically, the first Bible was set up on billboards in the desert, in the Sinai. You had these billboards, and people would go past on their camels, and they'd read as they go from right to left. They would read on the billboard. So you had the Torah and the Ten Commandments on a whole bunch of billboards that Muhammad had, and these were very big tablets. Allah's got a very big mouth, a big mouth.
Lloyd, you're the best. Yep. I got you, man.
You said boards.
I can imagine Moses being so strong. He carries his boards the entire 40 years, circling in the wilderness, and he's carried them on his shoulders.
No, I mean maybe. Yeah. So basically, as you went past, there was Allah's message to the world, and it said, "I apologize for the inconvenience," written on the tablets or something. I don't know, but but these tablets were made from ajwa dates, and they could cure anything, and people would eat them as they went past. They were like gingerbread houses, but Arab style ajwa date houses, and people ate them, and now they don't exist anymore.
They're gone.
Yeah, and so I think my story makes a lot more sense, to be quite honest. And
it's a closer to this, but it does not make sense to me. I'm sorry.
And here, for instance, take it with strength, okay? And so Allah said, "Look, take these tablets, call me in the morning," okay? With strength, and because look, I mean, think about it. You don't get tablets with strength anymore. You can only get extra strength, super strength, double strength, triple strength. Allah, but he gave tablets with strength. But now humans have improved upon that, and we have triple strength tablets.
Listen, if you don't stop making fun of the word of Allah, the curse of Allah may harm you. You have to believe it and accept it and read it, not make fun of it. I'm advising you as a brother in humanity. You're so quiet now. You're getting nervous.
Okay, so take it with strength and command your people to take the best part of it. And I will show you the home of the
best part of it.
Okay,
then Allah said,
take these tablets and I will show you the home of the cross dressers. You sure it wasn't trans dressers? By stating that means.
Look, I'm talking about something important, really. When Allah said about His word, the best of it, you know what that means? That means there's some part of the word of Allah is not the best. You just, yeah, not the best, but maybe there's some bad words or not important words. Or
look, I'm doing my best. I can tell you that I am doing my best.
Okay, but how can Allah's word have the best of it, not the best of it? How does this work with the word of Allah?
Well, Allah did say that He will show Moses the punishment of those who disobey and who are calling His messengers liars. So, all right. So, finally, Ibn Kathir closed this session, thank heavens, by simply interpreting the following verse in Quran 7:146. I will turn away from my signs those who are proud of the earth without the truth. And if they see every sign, they will not believe in it. And if they see the way of guidance, they will not take it away. And if they see the way of error, they will take it away. This is because they denied our signs and they were unaware of them. Hold on, but if they see the way of guidance, they will not take it, but they were unaware.
They
And
choose
those
the
who
wrong
did,
road and they leave the right words, the right, way of life. They choose to reject the truth of Allah and accept the lies, which is also of Allah, because He is the one who gives them both choices. Actually, Islamically, Allah is the one who makes them to not to believe and makes them to disbelieve. Because He guides whom
yes,
He will and
but
He
that's a
leads us
small
to whom He
detail.
will. Yeah.
And those who denied our signs and the meeting of the hereafter, their work will be in vain. Will they be rewarded except for what they are doing? Well, guys, that was profound. I hope that you felt that as much as I did. So he interpreted these verses by stating that it is Allah who causes the proud one not to understand or comprehend the meaning of the signs. Even if they see all of the signs, how wonderful and powerful they are, they will not be led by the signs and they will not believe. For Allah Himself turned them away from the signs because they did not believe them and they disregarded them. And Allah turned them away from thinking of their meaning, so they would not obey what is in their signs.
It's all about Allah. Allah did that. The people have no free will. They have no choice. Imagine, the verses is very clear. Even when they see the truth, they choose the wrong. They
Erwin
choose
is
the
convinced. We've got one believer that's not in the chat. Erwin has heard this and he's convinced. I think he's
Oh,
ready
man.
to say the Shah Na Na.
Oh, no. Hold until the last program. It's coming up
Yeah,
soon in the year
you
29.
say the Shah Na Na at the end. Good night, sweetheart. Did I just give away my age? I cannot imagine, the author says, how Muslims can accept the nature of Allah or how cruel He is. Muslims like Ibn Kathir and others could not see anything wrong in such a description of Allah because Allah knows best. They will not believe the signs. That is why Allah makes them turn away from them and misunderstand them. Erwin, someone is saying, no, don't do it, Erwin. Don't do it. So he leads people astray because he knows they are not going to believe. What a just God. Where's the Calvin? Did John Calvin write this book?
No, that's Muhammad.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
see the Quran was written way before John Calvin, man. Why you confuse two people together? What's wrong with you?
There's probably a lot wrong with me. I mean, there's probably a lot of things. But the evidence, Erwin is saying, but the evidence is just piling up.
So powerful.
So Erwin, I mean, yeah. So where's the patience and guidance in a God that will lead you astray? Who then can be led to the truth? For all have sinned and are not good, not even one. So Scrunchy is saying, Erwin, to save you, please take 2 of those tablets and call him in the morning, okay? You might need to call Usama.
Half a cup of fresh camel urine will help a lot.
Yeah, I've got these tablets. I mean, these are like little yellow tablets. It's concentrated camel urine.
Are you serious? Where do you get this from? Oh yeah.
Hold on, there we go. See, it's little yellow concentrated. I think we need to.
How much it cost? Look what I get here. You see this one here? You see this yellow one here? I get this also from Saudi Arabia. It is brand new, fresh. Can you see it?
Yeah, I'm just going for a mini dose myself. I'm just taking the mini dose.
Hey, a guy like me, because I'm addicted to it, and I have to take much. That is solid camel urine.
Wow.
See it?
Wow. I mean, so yeah. This makes me more of a real Muslim than anything. It's like, wow.
You know what I don't like about you? First of all, you mock the word of Allah. Second of all, you mock the word of Muhammad, peace be upon him. And then you don't like our great scholar Ibn Kathir and his opinion. You don't even like Hibr al-Ummah, the ink of the nation of Islam. Ibn Abbas himself. You don't like Ibn Abbas. Who do you like? Yourself? You're so selfish. You're so full of it. What do you think? Who do you think you are? And then when I offer you camel urine, a bigger tablet, you don't want to take it. You take your own small, tiny tablet.
Yeah. So look, Hoping Christ is saying, she's calling you out this summer. She's saying that's omega-3 tablets. Don't lie. Just don't make
Oh,
up
oh,
don't make up stories. That's
did
omega-3
she
tablet.
is it written on it? Man, that woman is so powerful. God
Yeah,
help
no,
her.
you can't fool some people, you know. So yeah, just so everyone knows, these are vitamin D3 tablets.
Listen,
Because
listen.
it's
No, because you took it out of the. How about this one here? How about that? Uh-huh. There's nothing about it now. It's except you can see it. You see? MashaAllah. No bags. The bag is given
mashallah,
away.
exactly. Usama, that's the first smart thing Usama has said today, which is the second smartest thing, that he can say right after saying, Lloyd, let's not talk about this topic anymore. Let's just
Who said that? It's my favorite, man. It's my book, for heaven's sake.
mashallah.
I dream about it between now until next Tuesday. I mean,
Right. Okay, let's finish this. The children of Israel.
by the way, that is response to the first portion we talked about, but we didn't get into it. So go ahead.
But look, guys, Muslims, if you guys do start making little camel urine tablets, remember you got the idea from us. We'd like some royalties, okay? So
Yeah,
that would be very nice.
Yeah, please help Brother Lloyd. He's struggling. He's struggling. He needs some help, okay? And he's tried to advertise for my camel urine, but nobody's buying it from him.
Yeah, and besides, I didn't have space for those big tablets, so you're gonna have to make it like a little 10-inch maximum with a nice screen, okay? Maybe a keyboard attachment as well and a stand. Right. So another contradiction between the texts, the Bible and the Quran, is in Quran 2:55. Muhammad claimed that the children of Israel asked Moses to see God's face or they would not believe in him. And they said in verse 55, and when you said, O Moses, we will not believe until we see Allah openly, so the thunderbolt seized you while you were looking on. And the opposite account is in the Bible. Oh God, where did they get these stories? In the Bible, the children of Israel were afraid for when they saw the lightning. They heard the thunder and the sound of the trumpet, and they saw the mountain smoking. They stood far away, and according to Exodus 20, verse 19, then they said to Moses, you speak with us, and we will hear, but let not God speak with us, lest we die. So the worship of the magic cow.
No, before we get to the magic cow, that's going to take a long time, unless you really want to spend another...
we can just read this paragraph or so.
No, it's not just one paragraph.
We stop here. It's the magic cow.
Paragraph after a paragraph after a paragraph. But the truth is, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Somehow Muhammad could not hear the story right. Almost every story Muhammad was rewriting in his Quran, he missed something, or he could not get it in the right order. So somehow he figured out that the children of Israel want to see God. When the Bible said, we don't want to see God. You talk to God and tell us, and we will obey whatever God tell you. I'm trying to find out, Brother Lloyd, how can Muhammad got it that wrong? I mean, do you think, just use imagination with me, do you think the Jewish people were telling him the story wrong on purpose to trick him? Remember now, you read in the Bible, and it's true now. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm very serious. The Jewish people always used to go and ask Jesus questions, until Jesus, in one day, he puts them in the corner and he ended this play games. He said to them, "Who is the Christ?" They said, "The son of David." He said, "If he is the son of David, how can David call him Lord?" When he says, "The Lord said to my Lord." And the Bible clearly said from that day on, they never talk to Jesus again. They will never try to trick him again with any question. So I think it is in the nature of the Jewish people to ask questions, to investigate, to trick. They're so wise. They're so smart people. They're sneaky people, okay? So I'm thinking, Lloyd, and you correct me if I'm wrong, that the Jewish people used to go to Muhammad to trick him. So they will ask him questions. Let me give you a good example. Remember one time Muhammad talking about the flood of Noah, and he said that all the people drowned. So the Jewish will say, oh, no, 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 no. There was a man by the name Achan. We talked about that when we talked about Noah in the Quran. People can go back to program number 15 or whatever, 17, whatever. Anyway, and they said that man was 3,333 feet tall. Therefore, the water stopped at his chest. He used to catch fish, remember, from the bottom of the sea with his hand, and he used to cook that fish up in the sun. He raised the fish or the whale up to the sun, and he cook it and he eat it, okay? So Muhammad responded, said, that's not true. So why was that? He said, because Adam was the tallest man, and he was 60 cubit tall, 90 feet. So this is a trick Muslims are doing with Muhammad to make him say something stupid. A little bit later, they make fun of him. So do you think this is the case here about Moses? Oh, was the two Jewish people talk to each other? I'm just using my imagination. And one of them said, let's trick Muhammad. Yeah. So they talk to each other. And Allah, and Moses told Allah, I want to see your face. Let me see your face. And they're talking about the story in the Bible. So Muhammad copied and put in the Quran. Or the children of Israel, they said, we will not believe in you, Moses, unless we see Allah face to face. That's the same thing, you know. And Muhammad, he hears the stories, and he put it in a poetry form, and he write it in his Quran. Because I mean, why? Give me another reason. Why Muhammad misunderstanding that which is written in the Bible? Those who helped them to rule the Quran.
Someone must have given him bad information. Someone fooled him. He believed everything. They were making fun of him. Yeah, I mean, Satan throwing words into his mouth. All of this. I mean, it's just
Brother Lloyd, I know that Allah is Satan. Don't take me wrong, but I don't think Allah is that stupid to make Muhammad write in his Quran that the earth is flat, when Satan knows it's not flat. Okay, I mean, in the book of Job, he said this: the one who sat on the circle of the face of the earth. I mean, the Bible declares the earth is sphere long time ago before. So, and Satan can see it. I think they were tricking him. They would give him wrong information to see if he would put it in the Quran.
Yeah, but
that's my.
I think so. Look, all of this, and also, I mean, they didn't understand. They didn't know. They couldn't read. Right? They're supposed to be literate people. So it's all of the above. It's just a combination of errors, and once it took on a life, once it started, it just took on its own momentum.
Yeah,
I think he must have been fooled. I mean, people. But this would be something interesting to show people.
We'd like to thank each and every one of you for being such a greasy audience. And
you remember this, Usama?
We'd like to thank our sensational guest star, Miss Rita Moreno.
I cannot wait to tell my friends that I don't know. They're going to be amazed.
Rita Moreno.
You know,
it's my favorite song, man. You educated me.
You know the Shah na na. Now we all need to say that when Muslims say "come to a mosque," you got to go do 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 do. Good night, sweetheart. Yay. You know, we just got to tell them, look, sorry, no, but I got to go watch Shah na na now. You know.
Yeah. But here's my question before we leave. Here's my question: how in the world, in this time and such time as this, that the Muslim people never bothered to read the Quran, to understand this unlimited knowledge
to read it? They're required to believe what they're told by their imams.
I mean, why there are Muslims who believe in the Quran without even reading it?
Because they are simply told we are the best. What we have is true, and there's never any question about it. You know, it's just as simple as that.
If you pick up any of the programs we did, I don't care, just open by luck, just grab one and open it. You'll find a bunch of errors. I mean, I did not put the title, The Revelation of Error, out of empty air. It's a reality. The Quran is the revelation of errors. And until today, there's some Muslims believe in it.
Well, in the Sharia, it says the basic obligation of Islam, right, is to believe in everything brought by the Messenger of Allah with absolute conviction, free of any doubt. and you are not obliged to learn the evidence of the theologians. The Prophet did not require of anyone anything but what we have just mentioned. And he says what befits the common people and the vast majority is to refrain from discussing the subtleties of theology, because then corruption, which is difficult to eliminate, will find its way into their basic religious convictions. It is better for them to confine themselves to contentment with the above mentioned absolute certainty. And don't forget, they are not allowed, you're not obliged to learn evidence.
Yes. So in simple words, Islam is a blind faith.
Very much. Yeah.
No logic, no common sense, no understanding, not even studying, not investigating.
No, it's meant for the imams will take care of all that. You just do what you're told.
You know what I found out from brother? Yeah, and you know what I found out from brother Yusuf, my wonderful brother from Saudi, that even the imams learn it from the other imams, and the other imams learn it from the other imams. So where you back it up? Where you get to some place and say, here is where we know that what we have is the truth.
Man, it's tough because I've had run-ins with imams and seminary students on social media, and I can run rings around these people on their own doctrines. Right? My expertise is not the Quran. I mean, I know the Sharia pretty well. I know some of the other, the Sira and so on. I can run rings around these people because they don't get questioned. And it's only here in the West that they get questioned. Right? It's only here in the West and we have learned, people need to understand, be confident. We know Islam in many ways better than most Muslims. And we're not sitting with propaganda, we're sitting with the facts. And you have the power, if you speak up, to change perception, to change reality here. Right?
Amen.
Because you have it within you. You know, you have enough knowledge. We're not stupid. 10 years ago, good grief. If you look on social media, how much people know about Islam now versus just a few years ago, my gosh, it's incredible. Everybody has a PhD in Islam today. It's crazy.
Yeah, unbelievable. 20 years ago, when I was doing Pal Talk in the Arabic language, I don't remember I've seen two people spoke English on the topic of Islam. 20 years ago, and I was sick in my stomach. You can ask my wife. She's still alive today, and you can go and talk to her. She'll tell you, Usama will be begging some Americans to learn the truth about Islam so they can share it with the other Muslims. Because I know when I spoke the Arabic language, only 13% of the Muslims can understand me. If they will listen to me, majority of them do not have access to the internet 20 years ago. But every Muslim in the world speak English. You can catch more Muslims with the truth about Islam in the English language than in Arabic. You cannot. And that's why so many, when the early Americans or foreigners who speak English start asking me, should I learn Arabic? I said, why? Well, so I be a scholar. You don't need to learn Arabic. You don't need. Majority of Muslims don't speak Arabic. If you talk about 80+% of the Muslim do not know jack about Arabic language, what do you need to learn? You impress them by speaking some words in Arabic, like some of the imam from Pakistan or Bangladesh. They don't speak 2 words in Arabic, but they use few words in the Arabic language, like some preacher use some Hebrew.
You're trying to talk to your own people, to the audience, not necessarily. You're not going to change these people who are so invested in their false beliefs. You want to talk to the people on the sidelines, your own people that they are trying to reach. You want to reach the people they are trying to reach. And you want to send across a better message. So, I mean, this is just how this is. But look, we have the knowledge. Get on social media, speak up, talk to the people in your circle.
You know what? And let me say something else about knowledge, Brother Lloyd. Years ago, you have to buy a book, and the book is not available. And you have to read the book. Now, you just use your finger. You touch your phone, and you can talk to your phone about any question, about anything about Islam, and your phone will answer you back. And believe it or not, there are plenty of truths by the Muslims on that phone here to destroy Islam. You don't even need to buy a book.
Hello, phone, talk to me. Phone, hello. I'm not as good as you, but hello, phone, talk to. I'm talking to the voices in my phone, the little men in there. Hello. I'm not as good as you, so I was touching and I'm talking to it, but I'm gonna figure that out later for sure.
Listen, if you have AI on your phone, you can ask any question. You can Google, you can ask any question. Listen to this.
Yeah.
Where in
Guys,
the Quran can I found the verses where Muhammad commit adultery? Blah blah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
I found that for where in the Quran can I found the verses 1 Mohammed.
Okay, you got the idea? It is there.
You can go to any AI these days and you can ask it, just ask it smart questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they do get upset when you know more than them. But look, that's a normal problem. Look, stop caring about being called racist. Stop caring about being called a bigot. Stop caring about being called an Islamophobe, a transphobe. Tell these people where to get.
You're absolutely right. That will not help the
Tell
Muslim.
them, thanks, but no thanks.
That's true. It will not help anybody, neither the Muslim nor you. So why you live with the stupidity of political correctness? I said it years ago, and I repeat it today, Brother Lloyd. Political correctness, it is a shovel you use to dig your own graves and your children and grandchildren graves.
Yeah.
For no reason. There's no point of it.
Yeah. So guys, really, I mean, to be honest, better than the Shahada is the Shah Na Na.
Yeah.
Should we say the Shah Na Na to end off with, Usama?
No, we're going to close it in the year 2029. That's 4 years from now when we do the last.
Hey, but let's not stream all the way through. Let's take a break between now and 2029.
No break. No break. No, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going, man. What if I die next month? What if I die next week? We have to keep going.
I would send flowers, and then I'd go to my calendar and I'd look at Tuesdays and I'd
be thankful to the Lord.
And I would have mixed feelings about my Tuesday evenings for sure.
I know you are the first one who are going to enjoy my death. Now I don't have to do that nonsense.
Yeah. So guys,
Tuesday.
Are you going to be back on Tuesday? We're going to have, as Hope in Christ says, Usama GPT in the house. we have a lot to learn. So shall we say the Shah Na Na and then call it an evening? And
Shah goodbye now. Shah goodbye until we meet again.
So I wonder if YouTube's gonna.
Tonight at 9:30, root for the home team.
So guys, what we've just seen here now is way better than the Shahada. The Shah Na Na is a lot more entertaining, a lot more fun, a lot more real. And Usama GPT, that was fantastic.
God bless you. Appreciate it. Thanks a million.
So good night, sweetheart. Good night. God bless everyone. Take care. See ya.